Hello everybody and welcome back to Connor here, and we are here with another rumour mill. I'm recording on Sunday for this rumour mill. If there's any updates throughout the day, I will let you know on an update, which we've continuously kept doing, a live update, and hopefully you'll keep up to the Leeds United transfer news with the rumour mill. And we're back again with the sponsor, shipbikesusa.com. Make sure you go check those guys out. It'll be on screen now. Everything you can get there, tailored, designed and customised to each and every motorcycle need. So make sure you go check those guys out as well, guys. I have set up a Patreon account in the link in the description below. If you want to check that out, if you want to help with the channel, help with the channel's growth, please do check that out. There'll be exclusive streams, all your bits and bats down there on the Patreon. So check that out if you're interested. If you're not, no problem. And yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, the Discord server is in the link below as well. But the big transfer news today, I've got a little bit of a special from a Brazilian correspondent, a Leeds United Brazilian correspondent, Giovanni, who's been absolutely fantastic. And now I've been trying to figure out the interest in Arthur Cabral. He's the transfer that Leeds are apparently going in for, and have actually submitted a bid as well, which it's huge news and something that we've not heard really before with Leeds United in terms of submitting bids. We've inquired, but we've not submitted. And this publication in Brazil has come out and said in Portuguese that essentially Leeds have actually submitted a bid for Arthur Cabral. So I wanted to get the lowdown on this, and I got the help of Giovanni, who runs Leeds United Brazil. He's been a Leeds fan since League One, which I find absolutely crazy. But there you go, it just shows the reach of the club. So I'm just going to put Gio on screen now. So I hope you enjoy, guys, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of an indication of what we can expect from Arthur Cabral. Could you see him starting above Patrick Bamford?
Yeah, I don't know if... I guess they play similarly, but not quite exactly the same. And of course, I can't watch Patrick Bamford as well as watched Cabral some years ago. I guess Cabral has a little bit more of mobility. He could play from the wings. He could play a little bit in behind the sole striker. But in these recent years, with Basel, he played as the number 9 position, which is what Bamford plays in Leeds, I guess. So I can see them playing the same position, but I can also see them playing a little bit together.
Yeah, and would you describe him? I've seen a lot of outlets describing him as a real clinical finisher. Is that what he is?
Yes, I guess so. If you watch his highlights from this years with Ceará or Basel, there are some plays that he finishes just where he should, and with great power too. So I guess he can somehow find the space to finish, even if he's in a run. If he receives the ball inside the box, if it's a header, he's a great header. I guess he just finds the way to finish, and as you said, he's a clinical finisher.
And what would you say his main strengths are?
I guess, even for Bielsa, one of his great strengths is he can adapt to whatever his team is playing. If his team is playing counterattack, he's great on runs. If his team is playing high pressure, he's strong. He can get on one-on-one with the defender and wins every 50-50. So he adapts very well, and he's very technical. Like we said, he's a clinical finisher. He has great skills on the ball. I guess this is one of his strengths that Bielsa is looking for.
And would you say that he could fit into this Leeds United side pretty well?
Yes, I guess so. We are looking forward to every signing Leeds could have, but Arthur Cabral was one of that got me most excited about it, because I really don't think it would be the most crucial player for Leeds United if the deal goes through, but he could add a lot to the squad in terms of being very flexible, that can play in lots of positions, and technically, of course. maybe he doesn't get the starting 11 position right at start, but I guess at least he would maintain the level we have on our first 11 team coming from the bench.
So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. Gio, his channel, his link, everything is in the description below. As I said, the reach is absolutely unbelievable, and it just shows what an incredible club this is, and the sort of levels that Leeds United can get to is absolutely scary, and I hope you enjoyed that little bit of content. But he sounds like a really exciting striker, only 22, 23 years of age, and I think from what I've been reading, it's the prospect of playing in the Premier League. I believe he only signed a new contract very, very recently, and he's got part ownership as well, which is very interesting as well. Whether or not we have to supply, I believe it is Palmeiras, I believe, with the transfer, and then supplement Basel as well. But it's one of those deals that could be a little bit complicated just in terms of transfer fee, what money goes where, but that's not for us to worry about. In the extra ball, it was announced as well that Leeds sort of have a 75 million to 100 million pound bid transfer budget, I believe. Obviously, go check that out, the extra ball, what the square ball do. It's some really good content. But with regards to Cabral, this would fit in. Now, as Gio said, he's not sure if he would be a starter, but his attributes fit Leeds United's style of play, which is really good. His hold-up play, his ability to technically link with all the other players within the Leeds United side is something that is paramount, obviously, for us to progress into the transitional formats. You know, if Leeds need to go long, we can go long. We don't do it often, but if we need to, we can, which is something that, you know, for example, Brentford have been able to do with Watkins. I think that would be a development of Leeds' game that would get us out of potential trouble in the Premier League and coping with pressure if we can't, you know, deal with the press at some points. I think Cabral would be able to make that. He's very, very strong. Very, very strong. And the big one I wanted to get out of that interview with Gio was how clinical he is. Now, he sounds like an absolute beast in terms of strength, but how clinical he is and how he's able to finish chances is something that I'm very, very excited about, and something that I think would warrant a 20 million negotiation fee. I think they were priced at about 16 to 18 million, just in terms of the ballpark fee. So I don't know whether or not that's going to rise, but we'll have to wait and see. But he's got a decent record, a very decent record in Europe. 18 goals in 39 appearances, setting up 6. And a lot of people are saying, you know, can he make that transition? Can he make that transition? Well, the only way he can make that transition is if Leeds do get that deal done, and if we're able to see, you know, can he make that transition? Well, let's see. Let's get him in the Premier League. There's been so many players who've come from Europe who've managed to sink into the Premier League very well, and Marcelo Bielsa and this Leeds United team and backroom staff would not be going for a player who wouldn't fit in with this squad. It just wouldn't happen. And like I was saying with Michy Batshuayi the other night, it's about egos, and they'll know that the Leeds backroom staff, Orta, you know, Kinnear, Bielsa, etc. They'll know that it's about egos in this side, and it's getting the right people in at the right time. And I think they've had problems with that with people like JKA, but people like Cabral, I presume there's going to be more intensive scouting work, not only on the individual and how he plays football, but his personality. Can he fit into the changing room? And I feel that is the whole ballpark of Leeds' recruitment, which I think that adds an extra strand of quality and something that we can definitely look at as a favourable strand to our recruitment, because, you know, it's not just about the tactics on the field, it's about off the field as well. I think it is vital, absolutely being Brazilian, I thought Gio would give a really good insight, and as well, apparently he's directly involved in a goal every 106 minutes, which is a staggering statistic, an absolutely staggering statistic, and something that we've got to keep our eye on in terms of if he can do that in the Premier League. Now, obviously, he's doing it in the top league in Switzerland, but the levels are completely different. But I think it is one of those where we could get that done, and if he does come to Leeds, it would be very interesting to see if that was the striker search over with. We've seen loads of stuff about Nico Gonzalez, £20 million. We definitely know who's at the changing, Thorpe Arch. So whether or not that's going to get done, we don't know about that. Could it be Cabral, and could it be Nico Gonzalez as well? Because apparently he was there looking around the ground as well and seeing what was going on there. So that's definitely something very interesting to look out for as well. So yeah, guys, the next rumour that I wanted to touch on is Robin Koch.
Koch.
Joke as you will, but yeah, he's apparently a really good player. Apparently he's a definitive alternative we're looking at in terms of if Ben White doesn't work out now. He's only young, featured heavily for Freiburg, and apparently he's going to be very, very, very intertwined with the German national team going forward. Has had a lot of suitors. Tottenham, Benfica, and many others are still looking to acquire his services. But if Leeds go absolutely hammer and tong, if the Ben White signature doesn't happen, that's a wonderful bit of business for me. A really good bit of business. I've been doing a little bit of research on him. He's a big lad, 6'3", 6'4", depends on your tape measure. But it's only his third season in Bundesliga football, and apparently he is one of the standouts in terms of defensive football. He's very good at passing out from the back, 89% passing rate, and you can see straight away there with that statistic why Leeds are interested. Could help us as well aerially. I mean, aerially is something that we've not been good at for years, but if someone like him comes in, he could fit that mould of us actually being dangerous from corners, actually having a target man with Cabral there as well, an absolute unit, a strong unit. It could offer a different dimension to Leeds United's offensive play, and if we can get something like that sorted and get that over the line, that'd be something I'd be really excited with, because it's a different element of play that Leeds can utilise. But he played in the Bundesliga too, from 16 to 17, very effective. And one thing I've got on my notes here, which is really interesting, the Freiburg number 5 is averaging 65% for aerial challenges, so he's an absolute monster. But a lot of players who's been compared to, the natural one is Javi Martinez, which is I think it's in terms of his range of passing, his versatility along the back line as well. The fact that he gets the ball and looks to go forward continuously. That key word I love, maraud. He's able to maraud out of the defence and cause other teams problems, create space for his midfield players, his attacking players, and obviously hitting the balls at the wings so the wingers can go at the fullbacks is something that if we can do that transitionally very, very quickly, then that's going to be something that surprises a lot of Premier League teams. But what I liked when I was doing a little bit of research on Robin Koch is the fact that his continuous there was a continuous reference for him, and it is the enforcer. The enforcer, which I love. I remember back in the day that was what Vinnie Jones was referred to as. But he sort of has a tremendous willingness to get stuck in. Now, whether or not that's going to come unstuck for him with regards to VAR in the Premier League, that could, I spoke earlier about that hindering Calvin. I think that, is the ability to get stuck in is brilliant, but VAR is just so timid. I think that it sends you off for absolutely anything. We've seen with Calvin's tackles at QPR and, all the sorts that he has got that in his locker. Liam Cooper said you take that out of his game, you ruin a little bit of Calvin Phillips, and maybe that's the same thing with Robin Koch, but it's one of those things that if Leeds can get these two deals over the line, that could be something that's going to be extremely exciting for Leeds fans everywhere, because these two have got serious promise. And as well, guys, there's been an interesting development with Ben White. Obviously, we're speaking about Robin Koch there, but it's been an interesting development in terms of, apparently, Graham Potter has come out and said that he wants to see Ben White play before he makes his decision on whether or not to offer him a new and improved, I presume they're going to sort of double his contract. That's what's been rumoured. And whether or not he's good in training, obviously we know as Leeds fans, I presume he's going to be excellent in training. But the development as well, the extensive development, is the fact that Lewis Dunk apparently, not according to credible sources for me, but apparently Chelsea have put a £40 million bid in. I've seen a lot of fans saying that Dunk could play at a very high level, so whether or not, I've not seen enough of Lewis Dunk, so I couldn't give you sort of that validation, but apparently he's very, very close to a move to a different club, and I don't know whether or not Brighton are resigned to that. Let me know in the comment section below, Brighton fans, if you are watching, what you think on Lewis Dunk's potential move. But is Ben White going to be that seamless replacement for Dunk? I mean, I personally think he would be excellent at the back, good at passing the ball out from the back as well. This whole Potter ball they all go on about, so I don't know whether or not Ben White's been looked at as that future, and I'd understand why, to be honest, with England sniffing round as well. But apparently it is looking likely that there is going to be a new contract offered for Brighton, a very extensive contract offer. So whether or not, we don't know if Ben White was just upset with the contract offer and denied it, or whether or not he actually doesn't want to be a Brighton player. But watch this space. I think Leeds are going to have some clear understanding of how that's going to go forward very, very soon. And a really interesting one to just end on, really, Ivan Perisic, 13.5 million, and apparently Tottenham and Leeds are massively interested, as you would be. I mean, scoring the other night against Barcelona in the semi-finals, it would be a laugh, wouldn't it, if you just randomly came to Leeds? But it wouldn't surprise me. It's just how it works in transfer windows. You know, you get some stunning moves, and Perisic to Leeds would be obviously so versatile. That word that we always talk about here on the In Full Swing with Conor McGilligan YouTube channel, versatility with Bielsa, is something that is just founded in all of his values, ethics, morals, playing style, etc., etc. So versatility is something that Perisic is known for. Left, right, up front, centre attacking midfield. He's played in centre midfield as well in his career, and he's been at some top clubs. So whether or not Leeds can get that over the line, I've no idea, but that would be an interesting and very decent signing. That's it, guys. That's it so far. Hopefully we're going to hear something throughout the week, and I'll keep you updated with a few live streams as well that are gonna, you know, sort of wetting your lips. As I said, guys, keep subscribed to In Full Swing with Conor McGilligan, and I'll see you in a bit.